Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to the Mindfulness Daily Practice. Hello Rachel, hello Sarah, hello Robin. Hi Rob. Hi Jean. Good morning Key. Hi Leslie. Hi Kate. Hello Sue. Hello Edelyn. And hi Sherry. Hi Fernando. Howdy. Nice to see you. Hello Dirk. Hello Ati. Hi Tina. Good day. We're going to go ahead and get rolling here. So we've been doing a series on body scan. So how body scan helps as maybe one of the first meditations we go through as a student in MBSR, and we've walked through a little bit about body scan and its role in relaxation and sleep. And it's kind of interesting how these topics connect, because now we're moving into pain. And yesterday, as we talked about going to sleep, one of the key factors about going to sleep was, not to try to get there. And this is kind of the common theme that's going to come up in this talk about pain as well. Not that, well, it's this kind of wishing pain is gone that causes us a lot of problems. So similarly, as you try to get to sleep, as we're trying so hard to get to sleep, it actually causes sleep to become more and more elusive, harder and harder to get there the more we try and get there. And so similarly with pain, it's this wishing the pain is gone, and the thoughts and emotions around that pain. Like, I don't like this pain. And and there are thoughts like that, and thoughts that are language. So there are the thoughts inside of our head, like our inner monologue saying, this stinks. I don't want this. I want this to go away right now. And the thoughts like this are actually increase the pain that you're having. And there's physical evidence. And there have been studies about pain and mindfulness, and this is one of the things about physical pain that can actually intensify it. And last week we were talking about the concept of the second arrow. The first arrow hits, and the second arrow is the imaginary arrow, the arrow that causes the pain to get even greater, because I go, oh, why me? Why am I the one hit by the arrow? This arrow is so painful. And it's all of that dialogue and or monologue and emotions around the pain that we feel. Furthermore, it really is this kind of bracing, this resistance that intensifies the pain. And so this is kind of where the concept of equanimity comes in, and impermanence, knowing that whatever it is that I'm feeling, it's not going to be here forever. And I think that this is really helpful in our meditation as well, is to know that whatever we're experiencing, and especially in the time of the meditation, I've certainly had my times of going through the body scan where I get to some point in the body scan, and I didn't put a pillow behind my head, or my left shoulder was injured months before, and as I'm lying there, I feel that pain coming in. And so one thing that can help is to kindly attend to the pain. So shift your awareness to that sensation itself. And also, pain is kind of that default label that we might have for that sensation, the one that we're used to, and the one that has that kind of negativity to it. And so is it possible to explore that sensation without labeling it immediately with this heavily charged label of pain, and explore what is this sensation? And is it possible to welcome this sensation and just recognize it as part of your experience as a human being? Pain, of course, exists for a reason. Pain is there for a positive thing. Pain is to get us out of harm's way. The problem, of course, is that chronic pain begins to exist, and then this is where pain becomes problematic. So pain is there to let you know something's wrong. And so unfortunately with chronic pain, you know that it's wrong, but you know there's some issue there, but you continue to feel that pain and you don't get a reprieve from it. And so this is the challenge. Can I learn to be more accepting? Can I learn to welcome this as part of my experience? And the data shows that if you're able to do this, then the pain itself can subside. And I thought that's something interesting as well about stretching, is that when we're stretching, we do some stretch that we haven't done in a while. It's like that that feeling inside the hamstring becomes really strong, or wherever it is that the way that we become more flexible isn't just that the muscles lengthen. Part of it is that as we do these stretches more often, that our ability to tolerate that pain, there actually is a physical change in the way that we perceive the pain and how that pain is absorbed by our brains. And so as you begin to do that stretch more often, one of the reasons you can go deeper is because your tolerance for that pain increases. And so I guess this is an encouragement not to brace against or turn away from or always run away from the pain that you're experiencing, because there is some value in experiencing it. And as you learn to experience it, as you learn to tolerate it, your ability, your resilience to tolerating that pain will increase. And then, of course, there's this correlation between physical pain and emotional pain. And so the more tolerance we have toward physical pain, this skill, in fact, carries over a bit to emotional pain, so that we don't have to immediately recoil when we find something uncomfortable that we're dealing with, that we can actually sit with it for a while and use it as, and I think this also is a real common theme, as a way of understanding ourselves better. And this Vipassana retreat that I went on, it's been a year and a half now, I think this was one of the real key lessons, is as we sit for long periods of time in the Vipassana practice, physical pain is inevitable. But the physical pain that we experience also is not some kind of physical pain that's putting our bodies in danger. So it is a way for us to explore and to learn about that pain and to watch the mind, watch what happens to the mind in those times of physical pain. Of course, we're not doing it in some masochistic way to try to cause pain. It is instead just really looking at that and recognizing its impermanence, recognizing that this pain has an end to it, that it's going to change. And even the next time I scan through my body and I come back to that pain's going to be different. It's possible that it's exactly the same, but there's, well, in fact, how is it possible to be exactly the same? Over time, things will change. So it does slightly change. And then, of course, as we reach different parts of the meditation, maybe that pain goes away. Or the meditation's over and we move, and then you feel different, you feel better. And so that this is part of understanding and being with our pain has to do with practice. So can we be a bit more open and accepting to this as being part of my experience instead of running away from it? And I think that there's some benefit for that, and this running away from pain and using medications constantly, not that I'm saying that you shouldn't use medications to deal with your pain, but I think that a lot of times there is really I feel this now and I want to get rid of this now, so I'm going to take this pill to make it go away without really considering what we're doing and what alternatives there are around that. So let's go ahead and get into our practice today. And so today we're going to be exploring a couple regions of the body before we get into our practice on Saturday, where we're going to do a longer version of this practice. So get yourself comfortable. And again, in the body scan, and I suppose in these meditations in general, the idea isn't to try to create some kind of pain by any means. And in fact, the body scan is quite the opposite. So see if you can come into a posture that is relaxing for you. And one of the postures we really recommend for a body scan is lying down, the arms alongside the body, the palms open toward the ceiling, legs slightly parted, feet gently falling away from each other. So go ahead and get into your posture. You can be sitting, you can be standing, whatever posture is feeling like it's beneficial for you today. And let's begin by focusing on the breath for a few moments. And seeing if with each breath, especially each out breath, can you invite a little bit more ease into the body. Notice the forehead and eyebrows. Notice the jaw. Can you let go? With each out breath, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into the thing that you're sitting or lying on. Just letting go, letting the muscles relax. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. So after the next exhalation, inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now just let your breath return to its natural pace. Focus on, observe the breathing as it is. And now let's take this spotlight of awareness and bring it down the left arm. So through the shoulder, through the elbow, through the forearm, through the wrist, into the hand, and all the way out into the fingers. See if you can bring your attention to the fingertips of the left hand. Maybe you feel pulsation here. Maybe you feel warmth or coolness. Maybe you can notice the perspiration on the fingers. Maybe there's tingling. Or maybe you're finding it challenging to bring attention to the fingertips. This is okay too, so we're just tuning in that radio dial, seeing if we can really hear experience what it is that's coming in from the fingertips of the left hand. And exploring all of the fingers, the palm, the back of the left hand, the left wrist, and on your next exhalation, releasing the left hand, the fingers, the left wrist from awareness as we bring our attention into the left forearm. Noticing the bones here, the flesh, the blood, the skin. What can you feel? What's the limit of your perception of the left forearm? And on the next exhale, releasing the left forearm from awareness. So we bring into attention the left elbow. And moving upwards into the left upper arm. Feeling the biceps and triceps. The bone inside. The skin all around. The elbow ditch as well, the front side of the left elbow. And on the next exhale, releasing the left upper arm, the elbow from awareness, and guiding attention into the left shoulder. So what do you feel here? This is often an area that holds tension for some people. So what are you experiencing in the left shoulder? Front side of the shoulder, the back of the shoulder, top of the shoulder. And on the next exhale, releasing the left shoulder from awareness. And taking this spotlight of attention across the shoulder to the right shoulder, down the right arm, past the elbow, past the forearm, past the wrist, into the right hand. Feeling all of the fingers, each of the fingers individually, the fingertips. Noticing whatever is here, whatever normal physical sensations that you're experiencing in the fingertips of the right hand, including the fingernails. And then going upwards, noticing the fingers completely. The palm of the right hand. The back of the right hand. The right wrist. Do you feel pulsations here, perhaps? So again, tuning in, setting your frequency to the frequency of your right hand. What about that space between the palm and the back of the hand? Can you feel into that space? What's there? What can you perceive? And on the next exhale, releasing the right hand from awareness. And moving the attention upwards into the right forearm. Noticing the bones here, the skin, the flesh, the blood. What can you experience in your right forearm? And on the next exhalation, releasing the right forearm from awareness as we guide our attention into the right elbow, to the right upper arm, noticing the biceps and the triceps, the bone inside, the right elbow ditch. Can you bring your full attention to the right upper arm and elbow, exploring what sensations you feel here? And on the next exhale, releasing the right upper arm, the right elbow from awareness, and moving your attention into the right shoulder. Feeling the side of the shoulder, the top of the shoulder, the front of the shoulder and the back. Noticing the state here. Is it completely at ease, or is there some tension, residual tension from yesterday, tension from earlier today? Observing the state of how things are. And so let's take a moment now, after the next exhale, to bring both arms, both hands, completely into awareness. See what you can feel, what you can experience in your arms and your hands. And now it's time to draw our practice to its close. I'll ring the bell 3 times, and after the sound of the bell subsides, feel free to move your body to stretch out in any way you like. All right, thank you. Thanks everyone for being here today, joining in this practice. So, how did it go for you? So feel free to share about the practice, or share about chronic pain or physical pain in general, something that you've experienced. I don't believe that you're alone in whatever it is that you're experiencing. So what you write in the chat could be useful for someone else. And in fact, you know, if you're comfortable, it's like I mean I know some people in this chat. I won't name any names, but I know some people do experience chronic pain. So if you do feel like sharing, I think it would be useful for all of us who don't, so that we understand that a bit more deeply. Because of course, as life goes on, the body changes, and as the body changes, the things that we experience change. And so the likelihood of chronic pain showing up at some point in time in our lives is, well, it's a lot higher as we get older. So do feel free to share with us in the chat and comment. Rachel shares, I felt no sensation in my right forearm or right shoulder at all. It's as if they weren't there. Thanks for sharing, Rachel. It's so interesting. And she also shares, I have chronic hip and back pain, which is not always apparent in resting mode. Thank you. And so what's it like? Do you find that bracing against it is, or what is your relationship to that pain? I suppose that's probably the place to start. Kate shares, I normally don't like body scan because I can't feel it. Today I felt buzzing in every area, so really enjoyed it. Thanks, Kate, for sharing. So while I'm waiting for more chat to come in, There have been studies done on anticipatory and residual stress about the anticipation of a painful event happening, and that meditators are better at not having that anticipatory stress and not having that residual stress after it's over. That these two things are, that a meditator has more skill at staying in the present. So when we see the needle coming, to get our vaccination, what's that moment like before, not the moment that the needle touches your skin, but those, few seconds before it happens. And what about those few seconds after it's over? Are we still experiencing stress? And this is a very good illustration of how the second arrow works. It also means that you aren't yet experiencing pain, but your anticipation of the pain is already causing pain and stress, and likely and similarly, after the pain's over, we're still thinking about it. We still have stress associated with it, and this has been documented in fMRI that this is typical of meditators and non-meditators, that meditation does help us to really focus on the present and not be so worried about even the immediate past and the immediate future. Barbara shares, I was physically restless today. I wanted class to be over and go and do something. Thanks for sharing. Jean says, interesting today as we focused on my hands and fingers and moving to them, my chronic arthritis, which is always back on the back burner, became more noticeable. Thanks for sharing, Jean. Rachel shares, my hip and back pain comes on during exercise, Zumba, squats, etc. It sometimes inhibits me from continuing. Considering my scoliosis, I'm lucky I can still do as much as I can. Thanks, Rachel, for sharing. Jean shares, as we moved away up the arm, it became less noticeable. And Rob says, as I age and develop what I think is a normal arthritis in the lower back knees, I've evolved to considering them as just my badge of living. Back and knees. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for sharing. And Barbara shares, and I like this as well, the flip side. I have anticipatory feeling good too. And Fernando says, I really like the body scan, especially areas of my whole body is tense, held, released. That always releases pent up stress and tension for me. Thank you. Thanks, Fernando. And Tina shares, despite physical pain, I notice a difference in this body scan as I attune to what information the pain is sharing without judgment. Thank you so much, Tina, for sharing. All right, everyone. The time has come. Tomorrow we move from physical pain into emotional awareness. So maybe awareness of pain, and now moving into the awareness of emotions and how emotions are tied to the body. So look forward to going through that tomorrow. Hope you'll tune in again. 5:10 a.m. Singapore time, we'll be back. So until then, be well, keep practicing, and keep up your practice. Feel free to practice without me. Do some guided meditations on Insight Timer. Do some time with the timer. I think I've been debating what I'm going to do for my first Insight Timer course. I think that's probably it. I want, like, preparing for the timer. How can I get used to that little, that little thing on the upper left, this little button that says timer? Can I use the timer without any guided meditation? Does that sound scary? So I think that'll be a fun thing to do. All right, so let us share our well wishes with the rest of the world and with ourselves. Let's wish ourselves well too. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone here today, watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all life on this planet and throughout the universe, may they all be happy and peaceful. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.